Chosen one. This message found you for a reason. Not by accident, not by coincidence, not because you were scrolling, because heaven has been trying to get your attention. Listen carefully. Something is changing, something is shifting, something that has been delayed for years is about to move. God is saying, I am moving you. Not just spiritually, not just emotionally, but physically. There is a transition coming, a new season, a new atmosphere, a new place, a new house. Before you doubt this message, hear this clearly. The battles you have been facing were never only about where you are, they were about where God is taking you. The enemy knew what was coming before you did. That is why the attacks increased. That is why the betrayal intensified. That is why people suddenly changed. That is why doors unexpectedly closed. That is why you felt trapped. Because whenever God prepares to elevate a chosen one, chaos often appears before the breakthrough. And right now, you are standing at the edge of a divine transition. You may not see it. You may not understand it. But heaven has already started moving pieces into place. The prayers you cried in secret have been heard. The tears nobody saw have been counted. The pain nobody understood has been recorded. And now, God is saying, the place where you suffered is not the place where you will flourish. Listen, your story is changing. Your environment is changing. Your season is changing. And your house is changing. Chosen one. For a long time you wondered why life felt different for you, why things never came easy, why you always seemed to walk through storms while others walked through sunshine, why you felt isolated, why people misunderstood you, why your heart carried wounds nobody could see. Hear this clearly. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. God was building something inside you before He gave something to you. Many people want the blessing. Few are willing to endure the preparation. But you endured. You survived seasons that should have broken you. You walked through nights that felt endless. You carried burdens nobody knew about. You smiled while fighting silent battles. You encouraged others while secretly needing encouragement yourself. And God saw everything, every tear, every prayer, every lonely moment, every heartbreak. Nothing was wasted. Listen carefully. The loneliness was preparation, the betrayal was preparation, the waiting was preparation, the silence was preparation. God was teaching you how to depend on Him when nobody else was there, because where He is taking you, your faith must be stronger than your fear. Think about the people who walked away, the friends who disappeared, the relationships that suddenly ended. At the time it felt devastating, it felt unfair, it felt confusing. But now God is revealing something. Some people were connected to your old season, not your new one. Some people could walk with you through the valley, but they were never meant to enter the promise. That is why they left. That is why they drifted away. That is why the connection broke. God was protecting your future. Even when it looked like loss. Chosen one, many of the people you cried over were actually delays to your destiny. And now God is clearing the path. He is removing distractions, removing confusion, moving counterfeit relationships, removing hidden enemies, because your next season requires a different environment, a different atmosphere, a different level of peace. God is saying, I cannot pour new blessings into old environments. That is why change is coming. You have been feeling it. You sensed it in your spirit. The restlessness, the discomfort, the feeling that something no longer fits. That feeling is not random. It is heaven's signal. It is God's way of telling you that the season is ending. The place where you once belonged no longer has room for your assignment. You have outgrown the environment, not because you are better than anyone, but because God has called you higher. Listen carefully. Before every elevation comes separation. Before every promotion comes preparation. Before every breakthrough comes resistance. And before every move comes discomfort. The enemy wants you to believe nothing is happening, but behind the scenes God is working, arranging, correcting, opening, preparing, even now. While you wait, while you wonder, while you pray, God is moving. The house you have not seen, the opportunity you have not discovered, the blessing you cannot imagine. God is already ahead of you. You are not waiting on God. In many ways, God has been waiting for the perfect moment. Divine timing is different from human timing. God is never late, never confused, never unprepared. When He moves, everything aligns, and that alignment is closer than you think. Chosen one, hear this clearly. The new house is not just about walls. It is not just about rooms. It is not just about an address. It represents a new chapter, a new atmosphere, a new identity, a new level. The enemy fought so hard because he knew this move would change everything. He knew your healing was connected to it. He knew your peace was connected to it. He knew your future was connected to it. That is why the warfare increased. That is why discouragement attacked your mind. That is why fear whispered lies. But God is saying, the battle was proof that the blessing was real. Listen carefully. Many chosen ones mistake warfare for failure. But warfare often appears because success is near. The enemy does not attack empty destinies. He attacks dangerous destinies. And your destiny is dangerous to darkness. You carry something powerful, something heaven placed inside you, a purpose, a calling, a mission. And now God is positioning you for the next stage of that mission. You have been through enough pain to become stronger, enough rejection to become wiser, enough heartbreak to become deeper, enough loneliness to become closer to God. Nothing was wasted. Every wound taught you something. Every battle strengthened you. Every setback prepared you. And now transformation is taking place. The old version of you is fading, the fearful version, the broken version, the doubting version, the version that depended on people's approval. God is creating someone stronger, someone wiser, someone spiritually awake, someone ready, because the blessing requires a new mindset. The house requires a new mindset. The future requires a new mindset. Hear this clearly. Do not fear the transition. Do not fear the unknown. Do not fear the change. God goes before you. He prepares the way. He opens doors no human can shut. The same God who carried you through heartbreak will carry you through breakthrough. The same God who protected you in darkness will guide you into light. The same God who sustained you during waiting will sustain you during abundance. You are not moving alone. God is with you. And because God is with you, nothing can stop what He has ordained. There will be signs, unexpected opportunities, unexpected confirmations, unexpected favor, unexpected connections. Paid attention, stay prayerful, stay faithful, stay ready. Because when God says move, delay becomes dangerous. When God opens the door, hesitation becomes costly. Chosen one, the season of surviving is ending. The season of rebuilding is beginning. The season of tears is ending. The season of testimony is beginning. The season of confusion is ending. The season of clarity is beginning. You have endured. You have remained faithful. You have kept believing when evidence was scarce. And heaven has noticed. God is saying, your endurance has not been in vain. The breakthrough is closer than it appears. The answer is closer than it appears. The blessing is closer than it appears. And the move is closer than it appears. Trust God, trust His timing, trust His plan, even when you cannot see the full picture, because the author of your story already knows the ending, and it is greater than your imagination. If this message reached your heart, receive it with faith, not fear, not doubt. Faith, the same God who brought you through every storm will bring you into your promised season. The same God who watched over you in secret is preparing to bless you openly. Your suffering had purpose, your waiting had purpose, your tears had purpose, and your future has purpose. The chapter is changing, the atmosphere is changing, your life is changing. Stand strong. Keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting, even when you cannot see it. God is working. Chosen one, there is something God wants you to understand before this move happens. Listen carefully. The new house is not the reward. The new house is the evidence. The evidence that God was working when you thought nothing was happening. The evidence that every prayer mattered. The evidence that every tear was seen. The evidence that heaven never lost your address. For a long time, you felt like your life was standing still. You watched other people move ahead. You watched others celebrate. You watched doors open for people who seemed less faithful, less grateful, less prepared. And if you are honest, there were moments when you wondered if God had forgotten you. There were nights when you prayed and heard nothing, days when you believed and saw nothing, seasons when you trusted and received no explanation. But hear this clearly. God's silence was never His absence. He was working underground. Just as roots grow deep before a tree grows tall, God was strengthening your foundation before revealing your blessing. The enemy wanted you to quit during the hidden season. He wanted you to walk away before the breakthrough. He wanted you to become bitter before the blessing arrived. He wanted you to stop believing before the miracle appeared, because he knew something you did not know. He knew that God had already marked your future. He knew that God had already prepared a place for you. He knew that the season of struggle had an expiration date. That is why the attacks became more intense. That is why discouragement followed you. That is why fear kept knocking at your door. The enemy was trying to exhaust you before your elevation. But look at yourself. You are still here, still praying, still believing, still standing. You may be wounded, but you are still standing. You may be tired, but you are still standing. You may have cried in secret, but you are still standing. And that matters more than you realize, because endurance carries a reward. Faith carries a reward. Obedience carries a reward. God is saying, I saw every moment you chose faith instead of giving up. Chosen one, the people who rejected you did not stop your destiny. The people who betrayed you did not stop your destiny. The people who underestimated you did not stop your destiny. They only revealed who could not go where God is taking you. Some people were assignments. Some people were lessons. Some people were warnings. But not everyone was meant to be permanent, and that truth hurt. Because you loved people who did not value you. You stayed loyal to people who did not stay loyal to you. You gave your heart to people who could not recognize your worth. Yet even in that pain, God was teaching you discernment, teaching you wisdom, teaching you strength, teaching you to find your identity in Him instead of people's opinions. Hear this clearly. The next chapter requires a stronger version of you, not a harder heart, but a wiser spirit, not less love, but greater discernment, not fear, but courage, Because where God is taking you, you cannot carry the weight of old wounds. You cannot keep reliving old disappointments. You cannot keep looking behind while God is calling you forward. The move is bigger than a location. It is a transformation, a spiritual transformation, an emotional transformation, a personal transformation. God is changing your environment because He is changing you. The person entering the new season cannot think like the person who entered the old one. That version of you survived, but this version of you will thrive. That version of you endured, but this version of you will flourish. That version of you cried through the night, but this version of you will witness the morning. Listen carefully. There are blessings coming that will not make sense, favor that will not make sense, opportunities that will not make sense, conscience that will not make sense. And when they arrive, remember this message. Remember the nights you almost gave up. Remember the moments you almost quit. Remember the times you felt forgotten, because those moments will remind you that only God could have done it. Only God could open certain doors. Only God could arrange certain meetings. Only God could create a path where none existed. Chosen one. Your story is not ending in struggle. Your story is not ending in heartbreak. Your story is not ending in disappointment. God is still writing, still working, still preparing, still leading, and the chapter ahead is carrying something different. More peace, more clarity, more stability, more purpose, more joy, more fulfillment. The waiting season is teaching you trust. The transition season is teaching you faith. And the arrival season will teach you gratitude. So keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting, even if you cannot see the whole picture, even if the road seems uncertain, even if the answers have not arrived yet. God is saying, the house is only the beginning, because what I am bringing into your life is greater than a building, greater than a location, greater than a possession. I am bringing you into a season where you will finally understand why you had to walk through everything you survived, and when that day comes, you will not just thank God for the blessing. You will thank Him for the process. You will thank Him for the waiting. You will thank Him for the preparation, because you will finally see that every step was leading you exactly where He intended you to be, even now. And remember, the place where you struggled is not the place where you will stay forever. A new season is coming. A new chapter is coming. A new beginning is coming. And God is leading the way. If you believe this message is for you, comment, kossen, declare it with faith. Strengthen your relationship with God. Trust His timing. Trust His plan. And subscribe for more powerful spiritual messages that will encourage your journey.